The mayor did do that one wrong.
Oh,
Yeah, he did.
I think y'all lying. Man.
We lied. We
I
lied.
don't know.
Full effect. The mayor did do that one wrong.
Oh, shoot.
I think y'all lying.
Hot dog. Oh. Hey. Peace, love, and light. All right now. Hold on. Let me cut my stuff down. My bad, y'all. Peace, love, and light. My goodness. We had some technical difficulties. We apologize. Look at you. Okay, yeah.
That was my fault.
Okay. All right. Hey, y'all. Hey. Okay, we are so sorry. We have some technical difficulties and all that there. But we're back. We thank you for your patience and we appreciate you joining us. Today, I have with me Jaleel X. Welcome, Jaleel.
Thank you.
We appreciate
Peace
you
and
coming
blessings.
on.
It's about time. I knew Mickey couldn't keep me away from
Oh, for
her.
the love of Pete.
Satan.
It's always something. It's always something. Well, you are here, and so we got some stuff to talk about. Well, we got some stuff to talk about with the man of peacekeepers, right?
Yes, ma'am.
We got some stuff to talk about with all of this stuff. But you know what? I really want to talk about, what the news had put out about this 46 million that was spent on economic development and not the water crisis. Did you see that?
No, I ain't catch that.
What? You ain't catch that? So,
That's the issue.
yeah. So the news put that out today. This morning I saw that. So they upset. And that came out this
So the
morning.
Capitol Theater, the Ferris Wheel building, the Mott Community College Culinary Arts teaching facility got all the money.
Yep, it got broken down.
46,382,475.
Yes, sir. So,
shoot, I don't know. FDC might cancel this show.
so
say
look,
about it.
yeah. So they said going line by line. The money was dished out to both the Michigan Strategic Fund and Michigan Economic Development Corp, and they passed it on, going line by line. It says the Michigan Strategic Fund gave $5.5 million to the Capitol Theater project. The reason listed: support Capitol Theater renovation and creation of 82 jobs. And then it says that the report that the MSF gave $3 million to iSource Worldwide and SkyPoint Ventures for the creation of 100 jobs, along with $5.7 million to C3 Venture Flint LLC for the creation of 380 jobs. Crazy, huh? That was a total of $14.2 million, creating 562 jobs supposedly. And some lady said, where was all these jobs posted?
I didn't hear nothing about no jobs.
Supposedly that's what it was. And they said, where were all these jobs posted? So they don't have any of those jobs posted. They didn't have any of that, but supposedly that's where it went to. And it's out there. And the news reported it. ABC 12 reported it. I said, oh my.
So they spent 46 million plus and developed downtown basically, and the citizens who really needed the help with their plumbing and pipes changed, not just, let me explain something to the layman people
Go for it.
who don't understand. I'm a contractor, licensed. Let me explain something. Here go 100 feet of pipe.
Okay.
And it's made out of galvanized pipe.
Okay.
And off this pipe, I'm coming off of it, going into 50 homes. If I change the galvanized plumbing off the galvanized pipe only from the house to that old pipe, I'm not really changing the infrastructure.
Correct.
I have to change that old 100-foot pipe along with the pipe, the plumbing I'm changing to the house.
Right.
What they're doing is just changing 50 feet, 30 to 50 feet from your house to a pipe that's still 100 years old. and they think that's changing infrastructure.
It's not.
No, it's not. That's what they not explaining.
It's just taking a little longer for the lead to get to you.
That's all. If you don't change that old crap that you looking to,
Right.
you ain't really changing nothing.
Right.
So I think they need to quit lying to people, making them think it's the same way they lie and misuse the vaccine. If you take the vaccine, even though you can still catch COVID or one of the variations, you won't get so sick that you'll be in the hospital and can die. That's, if I eat right, do intermittent fastings, and boost my immune system, and I don't have any pre-existing conditions, if I catch it, I probably won't get sick and have to be in the hospital either. I know people who caught it in good health and never left home. Did it at home, after 2 or 3 weeks they was good. So it seemed like the order today now is to feed people fear information. Tell them things that make them feel good, or make them feel that they need you to protect them from something, or you don't get the full truth.
So I say that all the time. I feel like it's a scare tactic all the time. I say that all the time because it just seems like, you know, you get this one bit of information, right? And then it's like they just branch off of it and they see which one is catching fire the most, right? And which one is scaring the people the most, and that's the one they go with. And so then they just blow that one up, right? And then all of a sudden it just blew up to God knows what after that. And I just think it's a scare tactic all the time. Listen, I'm not saying that it ain't out there. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that it's it's not hurting people or anything like that. However, I don't know. Anyway, back to these water pipes. This is some foolishness. Duane, $46 million, right? $46 million. ABC 12 reported this today. $46 million was spent on economic development in the city of Flint beginning in 2016. Right?
Beginning of 2016?
Yep.
Okay.
$46 million.
Okay.
The money that was supposed to be given for that emergency
Water
relief.
crisis?
Yes, but they spent it, right?
Right.
So you missed this part. So going line by line, the money was dished out. The Michigan Strategic Fund and Michigan Economic Development Corp. I'm going to say this again for the people just tuned in again. So going line by line, the Michigan Strategic Fund gave $5.5 million to the Capitol Theater project. The reason behind it that was listed: support for Capitol Theater renovation and creation of 82 jobs. Okay. Then it shows.
Hold on. With those 82 jobs, how many lived in the city of Flint?
We don't know, and how many of them was posted, because that's the thing. After
Right.
all of these things gonna come up. All these people said, we don't know. Has these been posted? Where were they posted at? So the next one is the Michigan Strategic Fund gave $3 million to iSource Worldwide and SkyPoint Ventures for the creation of 100 jobs, along with $5.7 million to C3 Venture LLC for the creation of 380 jobs.
So those are
With
more
a
job
total
creation.
of $14.2 million, supposedly creating 562 jobs.
So they
So these
created-
people are asking, like, where were these jobs posted?
Were these jobs? How long were the jobs? How much was the paying salary? See the details.
Were they offered to the people of the city of Flint?
Correct, right. I doubt it. Let me tell you that right now. But yeah, those are some good facts to understand, to know, so that way you can see, did they make the right choice when they spent that money,
Absolutely.
and see how, because what the big problem was, there was many millions of dollars that was misappropriated that should have went towards the Flint water crisis cause, and that's to assist the residents. So now you have these, you've been charged, X amount of dollars, for water bills, water rates, that's the highest in the country. And then, of course, a lot of people didn't pay them bills.
Right.
So now it's becoming a day of reckoning here very soon. So, like with those dollars and those resources, what do we have left available to help out with the cause right now? And, how can we see the dollars that were spent?
Well, here's my thing, and here's my question. Why was that even at the top of their mind, developing downtown when we had a whole situation going on for the whole city? Why was renovating the Capitol like the topic of discussion as opposed to fixing the city of Flint in this crisis that's causing brain damage to children,
Right.
that's causing physical damage to men, women, and children,
I don't
that's
see.
causing damage to
Yeah.
folks' homes, like all of these things to the whole city of Flint. Now you supposed to be residents of the city, you city council, you all of this, and that's so renovating the Capitol was on the top of your mind. Damn the Capitol.
Right.
People were dying from Legionnaire's disease and all this other things, and that's one of the topic. That's the top of your mind. I don't understand.
See, the constituents need to question the priorities
Yes,
of leadership.
absolutely.
I don't think that came from the community to say, this is where we want to spend our dollars at the Capitol. Most of the people in Flint do not even attend the Capitol Theater as it is. So creating jobs is one thing, but then also what is it doing about the public health side of things?
Right.
How did it impact assistant residents who was impacted by lead, right?
Right.
So those are real questions. And I think, when you talk about it and break it down, that investment of $5 million into the Capitol wasn't worth the investment
Absolutely not.
from the community standpoint.
Absolutely not. $5.5 million could have replaced a whole lot of piping.
But they could have put the 5.5 million towards whole house filtration systems.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was already being done and it was already data showing how it could clean the water coming through your house to make it more viable for use. And it kept getting shot down because the people that was over the money and the funding would never bite and catch on to putting whole house filters in people's homes.
Right.
But we went through the process, because you know how people is, how you know they work. Did you test them? What
Right.
did you do?
Right.
We did all that.
Right.
We tested the water before and after we put them in.
Mm-hmm.
And we gave the results to the EPA.
Right.
The EPA said, oh, these look pretty good. So then we said, okay, where every house who has a water connection that's at the city of Flint recognized for water usage should have these filtration systems put in their home and an escrow account created to change the filters out, which was 9 months to a year at no expense of the resident.
Right.
They didn't want to do it because that would have actually fixed the problem in the immediate till they got the bigger issues done. And they didn't want to do it.
Well, that's crazy as hell. I don't understand it. I don't understand. I just don't even understand why you would even discuss that with the way things were going with the water, especially in 2016. I don't even understand how that could even come up as a topic. Hey, I know we got this water situation going on with the whole city, everybody getting sick and all that, but let's renovate the Capitol. What? What?
They worried about the Capitol.
They worried about the wrong thing. Like, how does that come? You get what I'm saying? How does that even come up? Whose bright idea was that to even bring that to the table?
Somebody who said we don't care about who's dying, we just want to push our agenda.
I am so mind boggled at this, and I am so disappointed in city council. I am mind boggled. Like, I'm flabbergasted. I just
My
don't understand.
disappointment.
I'm so disappointed.
My disappointment, see, a lot of people like to pick a side. The Weaver people did this. The Neely people is doing this. Right now, you got a bunch of grown folks who claim to represent some position of authority acting like little children.
Yes, sir.
Weaver go on her show, people come on, all they talk about is Neely and his administration. Neely go on his show, all people do is call in, text, talk about what she did wrong doing her. All of that is sickening and beneath what the residents deserve
It's so
if
silly
you
and
in
juvenile.
leadership to be over them.
Right.
I can care less what she didn't do. I can care less what he's supposed to be doing and ain't doing. All I care about is if the people in the most need get the help they should get.
Right.
And what are we doing as solution-driven, active people
Right.
to make sure that we dealing with the biggest problems that are happening.
Right.
If you in a room full of 10 people, and out of them 10 people, you got a pastor, you got a politician, you got a school teacher, you got a regular activist, and you ask people in the room, what do you think the problem is in the city of Flint? The educator gonna say schools, lack of education.
Yep.
The preacher gonna say they ain't got God in their life.
Right.
The politician gonna say it ain't enough social program. Everybody gonna have something. But guess what you gotta learn about how you organize and tackle problems. When a person get in a car accident and they sent to the trauma center and they come into the trauma unit and the doctor is assessing the problems with the patient. If the patient has a broken femur, collapsed lungs, but is bleeding out, what does the doctor tackle first?
You're bleeding out.
Right, because if they don't tackle the bleeding out first, it don't matter about the femur and the collapsed lungs, you dead.
Yep.
So in the city of Flint, gun violence is the bleeding out.
Bleeding out.
Blight is a broken femur. Lack of education is collapsed lungs. So we tackle the gun violence first. We don't tackle lack of education and blight before we put our effort in gun violence, because guess what? If people keep dying, you ain't gonna have nobody for education.
Absolutely.
And you ain't gotta worry about the blight, because there won't be nobody here to make no mess. So we need to focus on gun violence. Yeah, you can deal with those other issues, but don't take your eye off what the biggest trauma is right now. People dying from gun violence.
So here's my thing, Jaleel. I'm glad you even brought that up. So here's my thing. My thing is the division in the lack of unity. We have like this huge problem, like you said, our bleeding out is this violence and this crime that we have going on, right? And this violence is just, it's taking over. It is just literally become a cancer in the city, right? And it's just spreading all over. But we have a lack of unity in our leadership to even try to get a hold on it, to even lasso it out. Because it's like going fishing. You over here, I'm over here, and I'm over there, right? But we all gonna cast out over here. Right? Because we seen the big fish go over there. And we all gonna cast out over here. So all of us cast out over here, and so we hooking onto each other's line, and now we mad. You seen me cast out over there.
I was there first.
I was over here first though. You seen me cast out over there. What good is that doing? Because we all at the big river, it's full of fish. And we are just gonna go over that one. Now while we over at that one, it's like 17 schools of fish out here all over that we all could be tackling in different areas, all on the same agenda because we all want to eat.
Right.
But we all worried about this one fish that we saw over there. But it's like 17 more bigger fish in bigger schools of fish over here. It's just silly. It's ridiculous.
So,
And we can't come together to just say that, okay, let's agree to disagree about whatever I was mad at you about or whatever I didn't agree with you about. But we all agree that our children need to be saved.
right. Now here it is. We can call people out on their phoniness,
I call people out.
because this how you can do it now.
I call them out. Just
A man, this Captain Dennis gave us, when he was here last Tuesday, he gave us the format. If somebody say, look, okay, how many people want to help see a change come about in the community? Everybody raise their hand.
hand.
How many people willing to sacrifice to make that happen?
Oh,
He
couple
said,
of put their hand
put
down.
their hands down. So then, this what you do. You say, can we get 60 minutes out of a 7-day period for us to put aside religion, politics, differences, beef, whatever we got, put it to the side. Put on an orange shirt.
Right.
On the front it say, I am present for peace. On the back, whatever organization you belong to. If it's Black Lives Matter, Urban Peace Corps, Man Up, Mount Moriah Missionary Baptist Church, whatever it is, you go, you put that on the back. That way you can keep your personal identity without feeling like you joining somebody else's stuff.
Absolutely.
But the color and the message is universal. It shows the people we're coming to that we're working together and we're here for them. Now, we go to where the most troubled people are who are in most of need. And we're not going to judge. We're not going to talk at. We're not going to tell people what to do. We're going to listen, show them we care, offer them a hug or whatever if we can. And that's the beginning stages of how we can start to work with our youth. And if somebody say they ain't with that, say why? Give me a reason. Because they can't have a reason. We let you keep your group and organization. Ain't no leader of this. It's just we going out doing this as a whole. Whatever you come up with really is you saying, if it ain't about me, I don't want to do it. And that's what it boils down to.
You're right.
You got people who won't help people and won't help people that's doing good things to help our people because it ain't about them. They didn't come up with it. They not in front of it. They ain't getting the media interviews saying that they the ones behind it.
Right.
Because they got problems with self-esteem. People who need to be recognized and known for doing stuff have a self-esteem problem. And that helps build them up. Or on the flip side, they can be narcissistic.
Or a little bit of both.
Or a little bit of both. And so I'm a strong advocate on, people who know me know my statement is I don't take sides. I don't take sides. I see the wrong on both sides and the right on both sides. What happens is people act like gang members with gang mentality and say, well, if you ain't riding with me, you can't be for me because I ain't with them. But, okay, so if you was friends with them yesterday, and me and you friends, and I met them through you, and now we friends, if y'all ain't friends tomorrow, I'm supposed to break my friendship with them because you ain't friends with them. You know what that's like? Let me show you. That's like you meet a man, y'all cool, he get tight with your children, few years pass, he real good to your children. You and him fall out. So you tell your children they can't holler at him no more because you and him don't fell out.
And I see that happens too.
And that ain't right if he a good person. If he a good man and he was giving something valuable to the children, taking them to this, giving them little lessons, showing them this, doing it. You don't cut that off because you cutting him off. You only cut that off if he a sickness or detriment to your children. And if what he did to you was so wrong that it can fall over on your children.
Right.
But we be cutting off blessings because we have problems with people. And then the person who always preaching unity, peace, and working together be the main ones always talk about how they can't work with this person, do this with that person, and we can't do this because they this and they that and they did this and they did that. And then my final statement, the religious community, some of the biggest hypocrites on the planet, other than lawyers and mechanics, they always lying. How can you preach forgiveness and you come out the Bible telling the story of the disciples asking Jesus, how many times should we forgive? And he says 70 times 7. But your brother or sister offend you and do something wrong, and you talk behind their back, tell people you can't work with them, you ain't willing to stand with them to help out people because they did something wrong to you, you ain't practicing that forgiveness. Stop that hypocrisy.
And you're not even willing to sit down at the table and discuss it and hash it out.
No.
That's crazy to me.
No.
So can I ask you this question?
Go
then?
for it.
Go for
So how y'all gonna get, like, now this is the elders, right? I mean, well, let's say,
Supposed to be adults.
I mean,
Supposed to be
not the
adults.
adults, but I'm just saying they the political people, the politicians,
The religious people.
the
Religious leaders.
people, religious leaders. They can't even get along, but they supposed to go out here and tell the kids to get along and stop the
See, that's
violence.
the problem right there. The kids not gonna want to do that because y'all can't get along. They see all this bickering and arguing and division. And what I'm gonna listen to y'all for? You
Right.
can't even get along with this
Let me
person.
take it on a higher level, spiritual level. God won't allow success from people who going out faking the fun,
I agree.
trying to do something that's not really in them to be doing. You have to have a conflict resolution with yourself and those who you got conflict that may know or don't know that you got conflict with before you can go out and try to stop a conflict between our youth. Because God will let you go so far and then reveal you to yourself and show you.
My
Look,
goodness.
you sitting here trying to do something that you ain't did with yourself yet. That's why we always say everything starts at home. If you can't forgive your brother and sister, you can't deal with the conflict between you and those whom you got a problem with first, then leave this stuff alone and stay out the way. That's all we ask you. Leave this alone, stay out the way. Do you know you hurt the movement and people who sincere trying to help our youth when you jump in and out with this little, well, we gonna do this. Let's stop the violence for a day. And then you disappear. And the violence keep going. Then, you know what that make young people feel like? Go out to the Regency and talk to them young people. You know, we not consistent.
Right.
They don't feel like they can count on us.
That's right.
And they think we only come around if we get paid.
Or a photo op.
Or a photo op.
Election time.
And so, yep. So the
election
biggest
time.
thing with young people, patience and consistency. Don't judge them and don't give up on them.
Right.
And be in for the long haul.
Right.
It may take a minute. You ain't gonna get no one visit and people gonna change from one visit. You gonna have to keep going back. Set a schedule. So if we go into the Regency with a sea full of orange people, put them in the rotation. Okay, every month we gonna go on the first, third Saturday to the Regency. 60 minutes.
Right.
That ain't but 2 hours a month. A month.
Yeah.
2 hours. If you can't find 2 hours out of 30 days, something wrong with you.
Absolutely.
You can't be talking no unity and you trying to make a change. You can't work together in unity with a group of people for 2 hours out of a month. And then we find other places throughout the city, core places, where people really need us. Not where people ain't even finna pick up a gun and do nothing. You got youth that need help, but all they need help with is a tutor to help them with math and English. But they ain't finna pick up a gun, ain't finna be in the street, ain't about their life. They just need help in that manner.
Well, sometimes they just need somebody to listen. They just want to talk, or
Right.
they just want to know somebody really cares. Sometimes they don't even need anything. They just need you to come and say, "Hey, how you doing?" or just a smile. It's so simple. Sometimes it's so simple, but everybody makes it so complicated because we have these preconceived notions of these people before we even get to them, right?
Yes.
That's the problem. We have a preconceived notion of them. So just like you riding down the street and you stop at a stoplight or a stop sign and you see some people over there, you automatically lock your doors like they about to come jump on you. They could just be waiting for the bus. I'm just saying, what's the problem? Why we gotta be so scared of each other all the time? And you scared of your children? These are your children. We supposed to be the village. We supposed to be treating all of these children like they are children. You scared of your children? I'm not scared of my sons.
Right.
I don't understand that. And I don't understand, and I've never been scared of their friends either. Or their friends of their friends or anything like that. And we have this preconceived notion that they all disrespectful, they all this and they all that. Some of them are. Some of them are disrespectful and they continue to be disrespectful because you allow it.
Mhm.
And if you don't correct them, why are they gonna correct themselves?
Right.
So you go in the store and I go in the store and they talking all that crazy, hey. Now, oh, I'm sorry, I apologize, or my bad, or however they want to word it. But if you don't take that direction to correct them, they just gonna keep doing it. People only do what you allow. And if you allow it, they're gonna continue to do it. So why they gonna continue? Why would they straighten up and act right because you're around? If you just gonna allow them to keep doing them, or you just not gonna show up? I keep wreaking havoc too if I could get away with it.
Now, here goes some common sense wisdom. If you want to eliminate people who you don't think you can work with, you give them the litmus test called the friendship test. If your friend never supported you and came to anything you was doing, they ain't your friend. If they never showed up to something that meant something to you, they ain't your friend. I've been learning this at my age. I'm learning this on a different level because I thought when certain pastors shake my hand and say we'll work with the nation, I thought it was cool. But I'm learning you just doing that to a certain point, and then you got a cutoff.
Right.
But I know now from dealing with Pastor Carl Arthur, Pastor Leslie Lee, where they say, my church is yours. You want to come in, you can speak. I don't gave Sunday lectures at their church. I don't did prayers in their church, funerals in it. They said, it's yours. And they made me say, well, hold on. Y'all real friends. They was faking. They ain't never invited me on their roster. They ain't never set me up front with them when I walk into the church. They ain't never treated me like this. And that made me feel like, whoa.
Because what's the problem? Because, you know, I used to go to church all the time, and that's the thing. You know, you get up there and they be like, any pastors out there, come on up there. You a pastor, right?
Yeah,
you a minister. You say, any pastors or ministers out there?
What type of minister are you?
A student minister of the Nation of Islam.
Oh, well, that's it right there. That's why.
But they treat me like, I tell anybody, Pastor Carl Arthur lived Jesus, he don't talk Jesus. Pastor Leslie Lee lived Jesus, he don't talk Jesus.
White Jesus or black Jesus?
Black.
I just be
they
needing to
live
know.
real Jesus.
Listen, I just be needing to know which one.
Because I said that
You
too.
know what I'm saying?
I said the reason why the black church struggle to see success is because they got white images behind the pastor's pulpit where he preaching, and you got these little people in here seeing these white folks supposed to be divine people, and they growing up with subliminal messages making them think that white people are greater than them, even though the pastor may not have pointed at the picture and said it.
But he there.
The picture is saying it.
And you've been seeing that all the time.
And you know how I know? When we was little on the porch, anybody say they didn't do it, they lying. We'll be on the porch, and if a tall white boy walk by with that long curly blonde hair, like that white picture of Jesus in the church, you be like, man, he look like Jesus. You know how messed up that is? When you really think that your Lord and Savior is your enemy. So here it is.
Ooh-wee.
And I know Brother Darius, he don't like me use that like a blanket statement.
Right.
So let me use it like this. The principalities of spiritual wickedness in high places and people with money and power, white folks. Not the everyday people who live it like me. Because Dr. Elijah Muhammad said that black, red, white, brown, and poor white people are all in the same boat. Now, if it was black folk in power, running the world, then I'd be talking about them. But we ain't running that.
But our mouth.
But our mile in a quarter mile, in a 100-meter race. That's about it. So I want to get that specified, but it's good people in the church, and it's sincere people in the church. But the minister said to be sincere wrong is to be dead right. You don't get no high marks for being sincere. You get high marks for being right. So even though you go into church, see all these white pictures, and they think they sincerely preaching the word, they doing a disservice to our people with them pictures. Take them down and don't have no pictures there.
Right.
Because when I asked the pastor about it before, and I seen the Last Supper in his church, I said, hey, pastor, you got the Last Supper. Everybody at the table white. The only black person, he bringing a tray for the food. And I said, that's throwing people off. So he said, color don't matter. So I said, if color didn't matter, then why the picture had to be painted white? If color don't matter, paint it black. If color don't matter, why come every flyer got a white angel on it? Why come they use words, even Martin Luther King said, they made everything black, evil. You had angels' food cake is white, devil food cake is brown, chocolate brown. So if it don't matter, then why specify? Leave color off. Don't have no color.
Right.
Don't even put a person on there. It mattered because one had to uplift superiority in order to bring about inferiority. And that inferiority is what our people suffer that causes us self-hate. Self-hate produces the ability to kill one another and not care for one another with ease. And the only way to reverse that is to get knowledge of self, which produces self-love, will make you care about. You ain't never seen a person say, I'm finna go kill my brother and my sister. He said, I'm finna go kill this nigga. He ain't no good, I hate him. But you ain't never ever, I'm finna go kill this brother or this sister. They don't talk like that. When you talk like that, that's an expression of love and attachment.
Right.
But when you use negative terms, you detaching yourself from the person, it's easy for you to do wrong to them. So we got a lot of work to do with our people. It's enough categories and enough areas of work that we can do that it shouldn't be people beefing with each other and claiming they trying to help us, help our people. It's enough work. If you don't want to work with the Urban Peace Corps, Black Lives Matter, Dewan, you don't want to work with the Nation, Man Up, Peacekeeper, you don't want to work with any of these groups, then it's enough work where you don't have to bother us, you ain't got to mention us, you ain't got to talk about us, you can go work on something else because it's a bunch of work need to be done for black folk. It ain't no work left out. As a matter of fact, it's so much work, it ain't enough people to do all the work.
That's right. Well, see, here's the other thing with that too. So, even with saying, listen, if you're not down with the cause or the cause that we have, go on over there out your way. But don't be talking shit when you go over there. That's my issue. I don't care if you go over there. I don't care if you go over there. That's my thing. I don't care. But don't get to talking shit and trying to downplay what somebody else is doing just to make yourself look good.
Yeah.
Now, I don't like that. Now, I don't have no problem with calling. I'm going to call the bull out when it's out there. If it's wrong, it's wrong. If I think it's shady, it's shady. It's my opinion. However, I'm definitely open for a discussion. If you think I'm wrong and it's wrong to you, come talk to me about it. I don't have no beef where I ain't got no. Listen, if it's beef, let's cook it up. I don't even eat beef.
Right.
Let's cook it up. I'm just saying, come to the table. Let's talk about it. But don't go over there talking trash about it and then don't even offer to bring me to the table to talk about it. Don't talk down and don't lie on me and talk bad about me over there in the corner somewhere, but don't have balls enough to come to me and say, I got a problem with you. Because I can come to you and say I got a problem with you. And every time that I come on this show and I say, hey, I got a problem with you, I still offer, hey, the table open, come talk to me.
Right.
Because I be having a problem.
For example, what she's saying, for example, I ain't said nothing against nothing nobody did in the last couple of ceasefire, whatever you want to do, stop the violence, rally, cease. I ain't say nothing. Nothing negative. I even participated in ceasefire at the barbershop talk.
Right.
But when I said Man Up Peacekeepers gonna continue the barbershop talk, we gonna do it. Oh, well, that ain't gonna work. Y'all over there, y'all ain't gonna do it. This ain't gonna happen. Y'all ain't gonna. And then I get a message. Brother D tell me, one of the pastors said, if y'all don't include white people, y'all ain't gonna be successful.
Ain't that
I said, well, listen, let me tell you something. I said, Brother D, why don't you tell them, if they ain't gonna help, keep their mouth shut.
Shut up.
Keep us out of their mouth.
For real.
Let us do what we do. Let us, only God, whatever God let happen, no man can stop. And whatever God stopped, no man can make happen. So let us do what we do. If it ain't meant to be, it won't be. If it's meant to be, it will be. Leave us alone. if you ain't gonna be with us.
But what do you gain from that? What do you gain? Here's the thing about it though, right? So you got your entity over there. We got this entity over there. We working together. We working together just fine.
Right,
I ain't got no beef with you, Jaleel.
right,
And if I do, I know how to come to you and talk to you, right?
right.
We ain't got no beef. I'm cool with it. I done been to a few things that y'all
Right.
put on. Just like you done come to some of ours, right?
Right,
That's fine. I even went to some of theirs.
right,
I ain't agree with it. I ain't like it. But I didn't talk down on it to
Right.
where it was behind their back. I said it in the open. I said what I said. I feel how I feel. And if I'm wrong, come talk to me about it. Obviously, I feel like I'm not wrong because now you won't even come and talk about it. You won't even say nothing. And then
You
if
ain't
you
got COVID,
approach
do
it,
you?
huh?
I heard that COVID cough. I'm
Shut
just
up.
checking.
And then, but if you get approached about it,
it's
then
the
you feel
Delta
like
Phi Delta, baby.
they feel like you attacking or whatever. And it's not an attack, right? It's really a valid question. So my question still is this. What does it do for you? What do you gain by saying, oh, I did it first? It was my idea, I did it first. And y'all gonna keep on doing it. Oh, that ain't gonna work. What do you gain from that? Or what do you gain from down talking another person for what you do? What do you gain from it? It make you feel better at night, make you sleep better?
Let me be Miss Giovanni, a psychiatrist right now
Go for it.
for black folks. See, we suffer from post-traumatic slave disorder.
We do.
It's a sickness. Some of us who know our sicknesses have tried to deal with our sicknesses. Some of us who got our sickness try to act like it ain't there, put it to the side. What it does for some people is it helps them deal with the sickness that's in themselves. I need to be relevant. I've been told I was nothing, I'm inferior, I'm nobody. But in order to feel like somebody, I'm gonna step on the same people who feel like nobody too, so I at least feel like somebody around a bunch of nobodies. But if you really want to feel like somebody, go step on the people that's stepping on the people in the world
Come on
that
now.
can't fight against them people.
There you go.
Step on Ridgeway White. Step on Field Shows.
Oh, but then we can't do that because then that's gonna stop our money.
They're gonna stop the money.
They're gonna stop my money.
So you a prostitute.
Thank you.
You being pimped.
Pimped.
You take money and money guide and direct how powerful your liberation fight gonna be.
But that's the thing though, right? I can't be no bootlicker just to get a few dollars.
Right.
But being a bootlicker and getting a few dollars is gonna make me down my brother for that.
Right.
It's
People
gonna make me
scared to
down
say
my
their
sister
name.
for that.
Do you know I go around people scared to mention them if they getting money from
They
them?
don't feel
They
sure.
won't even say Ridgeway White name. They won't say my foundation. They won't say none of that. They scared to death. I say it because I come from a man who taught us to do for self. We don't, do you know black people got enough money if we unite and give to one another to help each other, we wouldn't need none of them outside groups to fund and do nothing
We would
for
not.
us.
We
We
would
don't
not.
need them for nothing.
We are so afraid to even boycott a store that don't even respect us or respect our black dollar. We can go in the store, we can go in the store and we can
Yes, sir.
we can talk to these people that talk down to our brothers and sisters. We can go in the store and we can spend our money in there. We can go in the store that will shoot a man through a locked door. And we'll continue to just do business with them like ain't nothing happened. Rich, what's up with that? Why would we do that?
Man, you know, there's a balloon release and I just left right across the street from here. And what's amazing is that the day after that happened, they were still doing business and it was still blood everywhere.
But here's the thing though, they don't even have respect enough to be like, you know what? In honor of this person, even though we didn't know we gonna shut down, even for an hour. we gonna shut down for
Like
an hour.
right now, they should be shut down.
You feel me? I'm just saying, like, we gonna shut down for an hour in remembrance of this person
Yeah.
or whatever. You know what I'm saying? To honor this person or this.
Yeah.
Our condolences is out to
Yeah.
them or something. You get what I'm saying? Nope, it's just business as
They
usual.
don't even
What you mean, like?
Yeah, take
they,
it.
they don't even send any condolences to the family or nothing. They really act like it's just another day.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't get it.
Man, it's sad.
I don't get it. I just don't know. I don't know what the fix is. Like, I think that we should be holding folks accountable. I think we should be calling these people out that be doing all of this stuff. But at the end of the day, they still don't care. And then, but even the constituents and all of these other people, they don't care either because they not even, they can see this stuff. It can be right in their face, right? Like, you know, there's some shady stuff going on, or you know they fake, or you know they doing all of this stuff for the wrong reason. It can be like dead right in their face. And it still won't say nothing, still won't do nothing. Now, it'll be a few people that'll understand and they'll support or not support, right? But it's not enough. We cannot for the life of us have any type of unity on any side of the spectrum, whether it be in leadership, whether it be these ones and behind it, like nowhere, we have none. Like, what happened? All of this division happened, back then we could boycott, we can march, we can do all of these things, and history has taught us that it worked. History has taught us that it is effective, but yet we can't seem to get it together to do it right now.
Well, you got to remember, nowadays, what we would have to boycott would be the gun manufacturers.
I'm even talking about, I'm not even talking about, but I'm not even taking it that far. I'm talking about starting out here. I'm not even talking about going on that big, but I get it. You're absolutely right. But I'm just talking about starting right here. Like, why instead of going to the store right here, why we don't go over there on Welch? He black. Why we ain't supporting him?
Well,
So instead of going to A&J, why we don't go on Saginaw Street to Caught My Eye? You get what I'm saying?
Now that
We
one
not doing our
that
part.
one is not explainable.
That's what I'm
Anybody
saying.
that go to that A&J should make that trip
That's all
over
I'm
to,
saying.
should be making that trip over to Caught My Eye.
That's all I'm saying. Do you know?
That right there should be happening.
But I don't go to the store that often. But when I'm out and I go to the store, I'll go over there. I'll go over there on Welch. I don't even live on that side of town. I don't live nowhere near there.
And for people that live in Flint, that's in Mount Morris. So you gotta ride by Caught My Eye before you get to Mount Morris.
But I'm just saying, I'm on Beecher. Now I go way over there on Welch to go to the store. I don't even go to the store like that. But if I decide to go to the store, I'll go over there and I'll go shop with them. I don't even go to the store like that, but when I do, I'll go over there.
We
But
need
you know
more
what I'm saying?
black
We don't need
businesses to
that.
shop with.
We do. However, we still need to patronize the ones that we have.
we
We need
got
to
it.
stop spending with them and go spend with them. But we don't do that. I get it. It's further away. I get it. It's out the way or whatever you think is out the way.
But the
whatever.
ones that
But-
have that choice should be making the black choice. Because it's people that has no choice but to go to what's there for them to go to. But those people that have the option between the two should be choosing. And like you said, these businesses should be doing more.
But here's the thing though.
Yep.
So if we patronize them more, that'll force them to franchise or branch out. So then, not only is he there on Welch, maybe he can be over there around the corner from me.
Now we can get them over here.
Or maybe we can partner together and me and him can open something over here. Hey, partner with me. You already know how this goes. Let's go into business together and get one over here. We gotta have that type of energy. That we come and we bring it to the table when we doing all of that. What's the problem?
Unity.
We need a
What's the fix, Mickey? What we do?
Pray.
To who? White Jesus or black Jesus? Because I think that's the
Pray
problem.
to who you believe in.
Mm.
I'm just saying though, honestly,
But prayer without works is dead, right?
Yeah, no, it is, but
Hey, I'm just telling you. That's all. That's how I'm
What
always known.
what
Prayer
far
without
as,
works is dead, so we gonna pray and then what?
no, I
Sit
mean,
down?
really, no, really, you supposed to get out there and go do it. But the thing is, how you gonna get like-minded people on the same page?
That's my question.
I mean, I'm asking, how can you get them? How you
How?
gonna get the like-minded people on the same page? We can't get the like-minded people, just like Jaleel was just saying. You see the difference, the beefing we got? You got Team Neely, you got Team Weaver. It's got this city really split up. But the sad thing is, who really trying to help the people? That's the problem.
and what need to happen with that probably would be, it's like, I'm Weaver, but it's people that's nearly that's like me. And we need to, more of us need to come together and do stuff, because what I'm saying is some people that no matter what this side do, that's how they gonna go.
Listen,
No matter what this no matter what this side do, they gonna find something bad to say. Like if this side say, I'm gonna give everybody $1 million, then this side gonna turn around and say, these people ain't gonna do nothing but waste that money. They shouldn't be giving them $1 million.
but we are in the information age, and it affords us the ability to look up and research and do our own work to figure out who is what. Listen, I'm with Team Daffy Duck if Daffy Duck is doing something for the people.
That'll be the one you had to be with, because these people right here ain't
Well,
doing
here,
nothing.
well, I say this all the time. Y'all, I'm glad I don't live in the city and can't vote for none of y'all suckers, because I wouldn't vote for none of y'all. I'll write Daffy Duck on everything. I wouldn't be voting for none of y'all suckers. It's a shame. It is a shame that we gotta listen to city council argue for hours.
They arguing right now, started at 4:30.
Child, listen, I was listening to it, Rich, and it was making my head spin, it was making my head hurt, and I was so sick and tired of it. I'm just like, this is so stupid. It's so juvenile. Like, let me tell you what, I'm gonna tell you what did it for me, Rich, is when Kate Fields' ass got mad because dude wouldn't say his name. Girl,
But that's the pettiness that we.
that's my whole point.
But-
You gonna be that kind of petty, and you worried about this man not saying his name. You got bigger fish to fry, and you mad, and you want to be mad and say he can't say nothing because he won't tell you his name. Girl, and y'all voted for her. Y'all voted for her. Y'all silly as hell.
How many of the ones, of our white counterparts on city council have been standing lock in arms with the people with the gun violence that's going on? Has Greg's been down there? Has Eva Worthing been down there? Kate Fields been down there?
Let me tell you something.
Has Santino Guerrero been down there? Because that's your ward, third ward, right?
Listen, I can't even tell you what none of them suckers look like. Because I never seen them.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
That's all I'm saying.
That's the dysfunction. So how are they really trying to help the community? Because to me, this is why I look at it. You got, really it's racist. They not really caring what's going on the north side.
No.
They thing is, from my observation with Kate, them, some of the laws that they passed, even with taking them cars. Oh, if you drag race and you do this, they know ain't nobody really over here got money. They know half of them not owning them cars.
Mm-mm.
So you're already putting more people under more hardship.
Well, you know what my issue with her was?
What?
The whole water thing. Like you want to vote against zero balance in the water, but you supposedly live in the city too. You in the city. What you trying to say? It didn't affect you? I'm not understanding that, and I'm not understanding how you for the people, but you vote against the people.
Man,
That don't even make that's oxymoron. It don't even make sense to me.
thank you for bringing that up. And I had a beautiful time today downtown under them tents.
Good. I'm glad.
I didn't put the tents up. I didn't have to put the tents up, but I got 3 petition sheets signed. So that's a total of 30 people. I started off with 50 hot dogs. I think we took like 12 or 15 down to Brother's Keeper. So it was a good day, and of course all the chips and the drinks were gone. I was gonna make sure that happened. So it was a good day, and it's funny that you say that, because I've been talking to some people, and we're gonna talk to one of them, Miss Claire, Miss Clinton, all this Thursday. And she told me something. She said, Rich, I'm proud of you the way you being proactive. He said, you know what, Rich? That's our money anyway. They should be asking us, how do we want them to spend that money?
I love her.
That's my big sis.
I love her.
Now ain't that sad? Now but you can't get the people that's in Fires Council of the Mayor to get together to know this not their money.
It's not their money.
They doing what they want to do.
But and again, I don't understand, like, are you really that type of racist that you would vote for her even though she doesn't want your water to be clean? Because I don't care if you bright blue with pink polka dots. If you live in the city and your water nasty, why are you continuing to let somebody in there that don't even want your water clean? That's insane.
Why that 46 million didn't go to be cleaning the water
Why
system?
didn't that 46 million go in there?
Why don't it go? There ain't no didn't.
No,
it ain't went nowhere yet.
Oh, but it has.
No, that was the 46 million prior, not this 47.
Not this one that's coming.
Oh,
but it has.
Okay.
but it
That's
has
gone. That's gone.
But yes.
And see, that's the reason.
The report came out on it.
But
You know that.
but what I'm saying is, that's the reason why I'm trying to be proactive now. We've been reactive too long, and we ain't winning. Like that money already spent. Like you said, this 47 million is not spent yet, and they need to know how we want them to spend the money, and they need to start thinking like that, and we need to start thinking like that.
They can't stop arguing long enough to even do it. But here's my thing though, Rich. Again, I am going right back to it because November is coming up, and we have to elect somebody in there, and we gonna keep these same suckers in there that don't care. We gonna keep these same suckers in there that will rather redo the Capitol instead of fixing your pipes. We would rather see these people come in and give out this money to these people that already got money. What you giving it to the damn Mott Foundation for? Hell, they got money. What you giving it to them for? That don't make sense to me, right? It's crazy. But then again, you just hate us so bad. You hate black people so bad, or you hate Eric Mays so bad, or you hate Maurice Davis so bad, or you hate whomever. I don't even care who it is.
But how can
hate them
Maurice
so
Davis,
bad that you say that?
This is my thing. How can Eric or Maurice Davis can cause the city council to be in shambles as it is? Them only 2 votes.
Those are only 2 votes. That's what I'm saying.
5 to move the city, so they can't say Eric been moving the city, been doing this, because it's hard for him to get 3.
Well, they like to say that. They like to say that it's his fault. They like to say that. But he is only 1 vote.
Yeah.
That's the thing. But everybody vote against him. And everybody vote against him. And everybody vote against him. And something else says everybody vote against him. That's crazy.
You get 1
he
vote
only
to
1
cross
vote.
over every time to help him get that 5.
Never.
If it was Maurice for a minute. He came back.
It was Maurice, then it was Herb Winfrey.
Now it's Herb Winfrey that
Yeah.
crossed over there. Like, that's the dysfunction.
And why though? Why though? That's so crazy because it's a detriment going on the city.
Well,
and you gonna do that all because you don't like them?
They smart.
That's ridiculous.
Hold on, they smart.
Are they?
They're very smart.
Yeah.
Because they're voting for all of this crazy stuff that we're having headaches over, and then they're pushing the blame on Eric Mays.
But again,
it's their 5 votes that causing all of this mess. It's their 5 votes that turned the $24 million surplus into a $17 million deficit.
But not even only them though, Rich. I'm talking about us. I'm talking about the people that's voting. That's my point.
We gotta motivate the people that don't vote. That's the problem.
Well, here's the thing though,
That's
Rich.
the problem is the ones that don't vote.
Rich. What about the ones that are voting? That's continuing to put these raggedy ass people in these positions.
Everybody got friends.
That's my point.
Everybody got friends.
Rich.
And more of their friends are voting
Rich.
than the people that me and you are talking about.
Rich.
And that's the bottom line.
Rich. that don't negate the fact that I'm gonna continue to call bullshit.
Well, we gotta keep calling on them. We gotta
But
keep getting more people to vote.
But here,
That's the only way we're gonna beat them is we gotta get more people active.
Rich.
Cause apparently
Rich.
somebody like these
Listen
foul
to
folks
me.
that they're
Listen
doing.
to me. Listen to me, Rich. Listen to me. You can get all the people in the world to vote, but you gotta get them to understand what's going on. So I don't care who you get to vote, Rich. I don't care if you go get 9,000 new people to vote. But if you don't get the agenda out there to them that know what's going on, it ain't gonna matter.
Well, you're right. Well, I gotta put what we just said together.
Yes.
We gotta get more people that knowing about both
That's what I'm
agendas to vote. Because right now, the people that are voting, they know what's going on, but they are okay with what's going on. And that's just the honest to God truth. It's more for Miss Fields than it is for us. And it showed August the 3rd.
Listen, I don't understand it.
And me neither.
And the thing of it
Me
is,
neither.
And the thing of it is that these people live in the city as well, right? 'Cause you got to be in the city to be on the council, right? And you live in the city as well. And in the city, there is a problem in the city, correct? The water is a problem in the city that you live in. So in the city that you live in that is supposedly affecting you as well, you say, you know what? Nope, don't fix it. Don't fix it, because he want it fixed, and I don't like him. That's how I feel like it's going.
And
That's how I feel like it's going.
and it seems that way to me sometimes too. So
Yeah.
I'm
You get what I'm
feeling
saying?
you. I'm feeling you.
So that's why I don't understand how we can continue to vote that way, because that's exactly because here's the thing though, these people ain't educated on it. They not looking at it. They not listening to city council. They not listening to none of that, or they might not even be listening to this. Or they come and catch it on a replay or whatever. But the whole fact of the matter is that all of those people on there are not voting for the right things. And you got this one lone person out there that's passionate about this. Here's the thing, let it be revamped or let it go out, and then it's you on there. You gonna be the lone passionate one. You gonna be the lone passionate one, and they gonna do the same damn thing to you. It's already the blackboard thing going on. All of it. Right? While you in the seat, while you trying to get in the seat, or whatever. Politics suck. It's so
Hey,
stupid.
listen. Saturday, real talk. Y'all know I'm running for office, right? Somebody read my shirt and literally cussed me out because I was running for office, called me corrupt, said I wasn't no good. And I'm like, do you know me? It's like, no, but you're running for office, you gotta be corrupt. You can't be no good. You gotta have a hidden agenda. I'm like, do you know me? He said, no. I'm like, man, he was serious.
But see, that's where I'm saying, that's where the narrative has to be switched, right? That's where it has to be switched at, because that's how we feel, because that's what's been going on. But we can't get people in place to do it. Or you get in there, right? And that was you from the beginning, but somebody offered you a few dollars and you a turncoat.
With me? I don't
Mickey?
know.
Nah, I don't know.
Don't that happen?
Yeah.
Man, well, to be honest, from what I'm seeing, is that they really be one person to get in office. And then once they get in office, they become the person that they is. I don't see them getting in office and changing. I already see them being that person before they get in office. They just do what they gotta do to get in office.
It still make you a turncoat.
But then I call it a bingo.
It still make you that.
Yep.
It still make you that.
And basically you done turned and you done suckered aside to being on your side thinking you was on their side. Then you get up in there and show that you are totally against them.
Why isn't the
Santino Guerrero.
Why isn't the violence? Why isn't the violence an issue for them? Why isn't that a bigger topic of discussion for them? Because they violent as hell on the city council. They ready to claw each other's eyes out.
Man, I can't wait till they get back face to face.
What's the hold up on that though?
Man, it's to their advantage that they're the only person in America and the country that meet like that. They don't even want to do Zoom. So it's a reason why they want to do these meetings like that. So
Mickey, I got a question for you.
Come on with it.
I'm on a whole nother topic now. Moving on.
Come on with it.
So, lately I just been seeing, and I know a few, more than a few, people that, some men that are really relevant in their children's lives.
I'm not in mine. Come
And
on with it.
shut up, man. Listen to me.
Come on with it.
That are really relevant in their children's lives, right? Taking
I
them
don't
to
even know my
school,
kids.
picking them up, doing all these things or whatever, and or even having their children on more than a weekend or the week or whatever, and the mothers of these children are so bitter and angry
Look,
or
mine is bitter and
whatever.
angry.
Mickey, listen.
Come on.
So bitter and
Almost
angry
went down.
that they are causing like these ungodly amounts of child support.
Oh my goodness, she did that too. She got me on it
Or-
right now.
Ungodly amounts of child support.
And how do we
Or-
supposed to go get the kids and pay child support and take a
See,
leave?
that's I was just getting ready to ask you that. What makes I don't understand that, and I'm gonna tell you why I don't understand. I don't understand that because I got divorced and I was happy when they daddy came and got them because my
For
nerves
real.
was bad, and I just go ahead.
As long
take
as
them
I'm
home.
paying child support, I ain't picking them up.
But here's the thing though. I never pressed the issue with the whole child support. I didn't care whether he paid it or not,
jeez.
going to court or whatever, right? I just
Yeah.
wanted out. Our relationship was bad. It had nothing to do with him and how he was treating our children. Our relationship was toxic as shit.
Yeah.
And I just wanted out, right?
I want it out too. That's why I
So,
left.
but that's my whole point.
And she
Knowing
threw
that
the
you
child
don't-
support on me as soon as I left.
but that's my point. How do you, and I've seen these gentlemen being like so noble, not talking bad about the woman or
I am.
anything
I'm
like
going
that.
around
Mickey,
tonight.
would you please focus?
Come on, I'm trying. But that was a touchy situation when I thought about it. I'm on child support right now, and the joker calling me, telling me to get him some shoes. I'm trying to
Focus.
say that child support
Focus,
check ain't
Mickey,
here.
focus.
That-
No,
oh,
seriously.
I'm just playing.
No,
Go
seriously,
ahead.
I know you are. But no, seriously, I just, I'm gonna tell you why it kind of hurt me a little bit because I was just thinking about, I was just like, dang, I didn't do none of that, and I got the short end of the stick. Y'all getting all of these amenities, being with these noble men doing this, but y'all still jerks to them, right? A friend of mine. When I tell you that he is like literally was in tears talking to me about it, because he is like one of the best fathers that I've ever seen. Like he is just any and everything. He's all over the place, like doing everything. This woman got him paying so much child support. It's ridiculous, and I just don't understand how that much money what a kid need with that much money.
That's why I'm down here at Black Lives Matter to take up a second job to take care of this child support I got going on. Thanks
Mickey,
to Juan for the
I just-
paycheck.
Listen, I'm just at Nicole. I'm just asking, how do y'all just get past it? How do you get past it without being so bitter about it? I know you are, you get angry about it or whatever. How do you just not be so bitter about it and you go on and continue to do what you do? Because usually they say that about women, like they strong and they gone, but we not recognizing these strong men that are doing it, almost like some of the same things that we're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, like Nicole, like getting on my nerves right now. Well, I'm just saying, just to keep it all the way. I don't, you know, I don't know. I guess it be, you know, when they breakups be hard, a lot of be emotional. You have some dudes when they break up who won't do for their kids.
That
like,
will not.
well, I just pay child support. And all the time, it ain't about the money. I ain't gonna lie, my sister used to tell me this. She used to be like, it ain't about the money. You want the kids need their daddies in their life. You know us, man. We be running around having fun. You don't really think, because when you have kids, you do have to shut your life down because it ain't about you no more.
It's not.
So you have to be a parent. And a lot of people don't want to do that. Like, stop what they doing because they thinking running in the streets, doing this and that, and Rich playing the music. You know what I'm saying? It's just
I'm done.
right. I'm just saying it's, you know, they don't. It's just like, I guess some must be immature, still ain't grew up yet. You know what I'm saying? Some still want to relive their best years and when they was 24 and 25.
But see, that's the thing. I'm going somewhere with that. I'm saying that to say, you know, using these children as pawns, and they are, you know, being in the tug of war between these parents, or they listening to the mama down talk to daddy, or the daddy down talk to mama, and all of this, and they grow up like that. Don't you think that may be a contributor of some of this violence that's going on too?
You know what? With the daddy not being there?
Well, not even only that, just being a pawn, playing a tug of war between the two. You got mama talking about daddy, daddy talking about mama.
I don't really know that because this is what my mama used to tell me. Now, she probably gonna love this part. She used to tell me, she was like, they gotta grow up. So they gonna get to see the game. When I was, you know, when you be young, you be thinking, because believe me, I was that one thought my old man was the worst.
Right.
Because when my mom would be saying this until I went over there with him.
But that's the thing.
Yeah.
She let you go over there with him, so
Yeah.
you got to see it. What happens when you
But
don't?
she was the one telling me, like, when you'll get older, you'll get to see it. It wasn't him saying
But what
that.
happened? But what happened when that don't happen? Because they
Oh,
both
when I got
talking
over
now.
there, I was blessed to have both. I was blessed for them both. Well, all three of them I was blessed for them, to be honest. I mean, because you got different point of view. Then I had my grandmothers. You know what I'm saying? Like some people say they grandmamas. I grew up at being at my grandmother's house. You know what I'm saying? We grew up like a tight-knit family. You understand? My mother, it's 13 of them. And they all had kids. So we didn't grow up like cousins. It was more like brothers and sisters. So yeah, you know, it's I guess, you know, it's kind of hard. I can't say it. I had both, best of both worlds.
I don't understand it. I don't know.
But you think
Maybe
Brother
it's just-
Jaleel? Well, ask that brother the question. He
Were
probably
you
can answer
listening, Brother
better.
Jaleel?
What's gonna happen if you lie right now? I got you on the NOI channel right now. So
You done backed him in the corner, Mickey. He gonna come out like a raccoon in the
I
corner.
was talking about fathers not being able to spend time with their children or know who their children are. Or
no, we was talking about the child support. I was being
talking about
sarcastic.
bit of yeah. So I was just saying, you know, like recently I've just encountered like quite a few men that are dealing with some women that are just trying to drag them through the mud, and you know, even though they're doing all of these things for their children, they're buying stuff, they're taking them places, and they're taking them to practice, taking them to school, you know, going to get haircuts and all of that, but the baby mama still want to charge them $2,000-$3,000 worth of child support every month.
I feel if I got to pay, everybody should pay. That's how I feel.
Why turn his go?
I'm out.
See you. You said what?
I would do it. I would look at it like this. The man and the woman, before they put the government in their business, should try to sit down and put the child first, or the children first,
As always.
and map out the taking care of the children. If she gonna keep them, she gonna have primary custody, then y'all figure out what it would take for you to help her and have them primary custody.
Co-parent.
And then, but here's the kicker. Ain't no every other weekend or this. He get them whenever he want to get them. But if you want to take them on a trip or you want to do something with them on a weekend, then you let it know. You be like, well, look, we going to Mission Adventure this weekend, so, oh, that's cool. But if he say on a Tuesday, can I come get him, I want to take him? Yeah, come on. Every parent should be happy that one wants to take the relief off the other one wants to spend time with them to get to know them, because guess what? Children care less about how many tennis shoes, clothes, candy bars, ice creams you get them. You know what they care about?
Your
How
time.
much time you spend with them. Like, the more time you spend with them when they get older, they gonna tell stories to their friends about what you did with them.
That's what they remember.
My daddy took me back to the bricks in the Camaro and we were, my daddy did it. They ain't gonna remember, oh, he bought me a pair of Jordans and I went to school with the fly shoes. They don't care about that. That's stuff we be caring about. Thinking that's cool. Really setting our children up for failure when we do that. That's another subject though. Because you do. With that mentality, I want to make sure they have everything I didn't get, but you didn't teach them the value. So if you give it to them when they get older, they'll know how to get it for themselves. That's a setup for failure. Because it makes children grow up to be privileged.
So I was saying that, and I really brought that up to just because it just made me think about like just the destruction of the black family, right?
Yeah.
Because really that's what it is. It was just the destruction of the black family, and it's continuing to evolve and become a bigger and bigger issue, right? And we're not going back to where we need to go back to in order to get our structure back with our families. So we're even more divided than we have been, and it's so much greed for no reason, right? Because what do you need $1,500 a month for a 2-year-old? What are you buying them for $1,500 a month?
Well, some people so crazy, they'll have a 2-year-old and some Jordans.
Gucci.
But why though?
Because like I said, we suffer from PTSD, post-traumatic slave disorder. We do whatever we think will make us feel better about ourselves, but none of it means anything. It's symbol without substance. What we should do, if you're getting $1,500 for a 2-year-old, then you put 1,000 up toward that 2-year-old's future, and you spend $500.
Right.
And then when that 2-year-old is about 16, well, really by 12, you should be teaching them financial literacy, how to start a business, how to do banking and all that. And then when they hit 18, you say, okay, look, I've been saving $1,000 a month for the last 16 years for you. And I've taught you everything I can teach you, financial literacy, blah, blah, blah. You got $250,000. Now I'm gonna give it to you, but what you gonna do with it? And then they may answer. They may say something good and then something crazy. But the point is, you made it where they don't have to start over.
Right.
Like we had to start. Because that's one of the issues I have with the black family and the black unit. We always fighting. We want to get to the Davis and Grand Blanc, Flint Town. We want to get to all these nice places, get out the hood, and do good. But then we make our children start back over in the hood where we come from.
So I have an issue with that. You know, I can't wait for you to get 18 and get out of my house, right? And I always said, like, I've always been that person because that happened to me. My mother couldn't wait for me to get out. Couldn't wait for me to get out of her house.
Sure it wasn't your mom?
So, I wasn't raised by my mom.
Oh,
She
okay.
she don't know nothing about my mom.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't there with her. She don't know nothing about my mom. However, you know, I just always felt like I don't want my children to go out there and just have to figure it out. Because that's what we did. I don't want them to have to go out there and figure it out. So I wasn't getting all that child support. I wasn't. So I didn't have the luxury of saving a whole bunch of money for them or whatever. However, what I did was had my credit in order to be able to give one of them my credit. Right? I had my credit in order to be able to afford me to have this house. And then I went and bought another house and said, hey, this is y'all's house. So now they didn't have no down payments to make. They didn't have no nothing. They already had they had a house, right? And so when they got their license, I bought them all a car. Every one of them had this your first car. Now, I ain't gonna buy you the second one, but you got your first one to start, right?
Right.
All of them. All three of them they could drive right now. They had a car. They got a car. I got them in a car. Now what you do with it after that, hey, it's your business, you know. But I just wanted to give them a better start than what I had. Because I didn't want them to just have to go out here and figure it out. And I never told any one of them that they had to leave. You know what I'm saying? After you graduate high school, you got to leave. None of that. I never said that. Never did that. Never said, hey, you got to pay this bill, you got to pay that bill. Until they did get grown and they were still living at home or whatever. And then I said, oh, okay, well, you're going to pay your phone bill. Or you're going to pay your insurance. I bought the car.
Right.
The insurance ain't nothing because you wanted my insurance. I ain't making you go get none on your own because you going to spend $500 a month. However, you got to have some responsibility to know that you're going to have to do this when you get out on your own. I'm not making you. I'm not saying you got to pay all of this bulk of money, but you do have some responsibility, right?
Right.
It's structured. And I didn't want them to have to figure it out on their own, but I just feel like if you are doing this and you're doing this crazy stuff to their daddy or whatever, and then you're not, like you said, you're not putting this stuff up and you're not giving them a good start because you pissing off the money. And then you don't have nothing, the baby don't have nothing. Now the baby is a teenager and the baby like, damn, we ain't got nothing. And I got these little Gucci over there that I can't even fit no more because they this big. You feel me? It's just this stuff like this. And you know, I don't think like that people don't even think about that. Like you don't think about setting your kid up because I just always, listen, I had my first child and I really didn't want to when I got married and this nigga, I want 8 kids. But you gonna have to find you 7 more wives because I ain't got it in me. Because I'm not doing it.
He was real.
Dang, and I said, go get you 7 more wives. I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Lord.
However, but my point in that is that for the children we do have, I have 4 children, and for the ones that we do have, I just always wanted to make sure that they didn't have to figure it out. And I just always wanted to make sure I wasn't pissing away my money, you know, like doing stupid stuff to make sure that they were gonna have what they need. I gave them everything they needed and almost everything that they wanted, right? However, I still made sure that they set up like they are adults and they don't live with me, but they could live with me. But I had this house that I got that afforded me not to do that, right? And then so my younger daughter and I'm just looking to buy another house and another house. And then eventually they'll all have a house to themselves, right? But that's the thing that I want to do because then if you don't live and you decide to move out, you can either sell the house or you can make it a rental property and you can have some residual income from it. All on you and how you decide. But I gave you your start. And then once I gave you your start, then I'm going to move back.
Now I'm with that, but only thing I would add is this. I'm teaching my twins how to build, be respectful and grateful
Oh, definitely.
for what they get,
Definitely.
and how to build on it and not throw it away because it was handed to you.
Absolutely.
So they don't really know what a struggle is. Like I grew up with a struggle.
Absolutely.
They don't even know what that means, don't even have a clue.
Absolutely.
However, I teach them to understand what it is. So if they ever come about in their adulthood, they'll know how to deal with it. That's where people fail their children.
Absolutely.
When they try to get them this life better than theirs, but they don't teach them that reality is you can fall. I'm gonna show you when you fall how you can get back up.
Or you just be real with them and tell them how many times you fail and how you fail and how you got back up.
Right.
See, I think that's another thing that we're not transparent enough with our kids to let them know our struggles and what we went through because we don't want them to struggle. However, if you don't know, how you gonna ever go through it?
I told them they daddy slept on the porch for 90 days on the outside. So I was homeless, like homeless.
Yeah.
Sleeping on the porch, really wasn't sleeping in the house. On my niece porch, Rich know my niece, Roz G, on Big Old Street.
Mm-hmm.
Slept on her porch for 3 months.
Yeah.
It's an enclosed porch, had a little let-out bed, but I wasn't even in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So they know about it, but we do exercises with them. Like, we bought them this kit to make little bracelets, and they sold them. And so they had to put in work, spend time and effort, and they sold them, but they gave all the money to Carriagetown Ministries. And so we was teaching them that you may not get everything that you work for, but you surely will work for everything that you get.
Absolutely.
That's what we was teaching. So then, when we do the food giveaway on Fridays, they come up. They work they don't never be waiting around. They be busybody, working. So when I'm teaching them, if you able and capable, you extend your hand to help others. Especially when you're able and you have the ability to do so.
You finna get out.
You help others. So
Man, I can't help it.
So with that, then, okay, you can get the laptop you want, you can get this. They don't really care about clothes or nothing. Because none of their parents is like that. My twins don't care about nothing new outfit, nothing. They like different. So, I mean, they be reading books when we be driving in the car. I'd be like, you ain't get that from me because I didn't do that. But
Jaleel, I got such a problem with buying books. Like I'm glad you said that because I love to read, right? And I always read. Like I'm always reading more than one book at one time, right? So I go to the bookstore today I went in there and I'm like, okay, so are you gonna get one book? Don't look at that. I done came out with 5 books, Jaleel. 5 books. They sitting over there right now. 5 books.
But they good for you because you know what they do?
I read all the time.
You know what the books do? See, I like reading, but I wouldn't read like they do. If I'm riding with my mama or daddy in the car, they just be reading the book and be talking to each other. I'm on page something. I'm looking at them like, ooh, that's straight from God. 'Cause I ain't never do that. But reading enhances your vocabulary. It helps you know how to spell words.
Absolutely.
Because you see
I'm a great
words and
speller.
and it teaches you proper pronunciation.
It does.
So I taught my twins the longest word in the English language. It's 45 letters long. It's called pneumano-ultramicroscopic silicone volcanoconiosis.
Oh, you lost me with the first part. I mean, you know, I'm a product of the Flint AOD classes.
Oh my God, I'm so sick
You
of
know what I'm
that.
saying?
Oh my God, he is so annoying.
But look, if you break the word down, like when I taught it to them, I said you break it down in pieces. It's actually a whole bunch of other words made into one. Pneumano come from the word pneumatics. Pneumano-ultra microscopic silicone volcano coniosis. Them ain't nothing but a bunch of words that you can identify with, put into one big long word. So it sounds big, but it's actually like several different words put into one big long word. So the reason I taught it to them is because when you learn words with a whole bunch of letters to it, like I taught them.
What's the word? What's the word? Say it one more time.
Is pneumano ultra microscopic silicone volcanoconiosis.
So it's the disease of what?
Yeah,
Because osis is disease of mono. So it's a microscopic. It's something small. Silicone. Okay, go.
So it's when volcanoes erupt, the ash that is in the atmosphere.
Right.
When you breathe it into your lungs, that's what you get. You get pneumano ultra microscopic silicone volcanoconiosis.
I was on the way to it.
Yeah.
I was breaking it down. I forgot some of the words. I'm what?
And you only can
But I
find
got
that word.
Disease of okay.
Right,
Gotcha,
you only can find that word in an unabridged dictionary. So the difference in unabridged and bridged is words that have, it's a cutoff. You're not gonna get every word that come from Oxford University or wherever they, and I forgot the other place where the words come from.
Webster.
But no, but you're not gonna get them. But an unabridged dictionary, you get every word that was ever created and put into a book. And if you want to know the truth about the definition of a word, get a dictionary that was written from 1929 and back. Anything after 1929, they start changing the meaning in order to fit a narrative. So to give you a good example, in a 1929 unabridged dictionary, the definition of the word God is not the supreme being or the monotheistic religion of Abraham, and so forth and so on. The actual definition says possessor of force and power, he or she who uses force and power. That's the definition from 1929. Now, it changed because the people in control wanted to change the narrative. But one of the reasons I believe they changed because it's easier for a person to call themselves a nigga than a god.
Goodness gracious, I have paid $101 for a unabridged.
Yes, you do. But a
I'm
god,
gonna buy it.
but you know you a god, she a god.
I am.
Now listen, in the Bible, it tells you in Psalms 82 verse 6, ye are all gods, children of the most high God.
Right.
Now why is it hard for you to say, peace God, but you can say, what's up nigga?
Yeah.
And then when you say peace God, you have the religious community, oh that's blasphemy, why are you talking like, do you read your scripture?
They don't.
You know what?
Because Jesus, now listen to
We
this.
just talked about that. Me and Dewan was talking about that earlier.
Because Jesus, look, this is what I get them on. They don't like the Old Testament.
They hate the Old
all these new
Testament.
Bible thumpers like the new.
Yeah.
So I hit them with the new. I say, okay, in the book of John, chapter 8, let's start at verse 42.
Let's go.
Jesus having a conversation with some Jews. And the Jews say, we charge you for blasphemy for saying that you God. And Jesus' reply was, did not it say in your scriptures that we are all gods?
That's what he said.
And then they go and say, well, okay, you got us with that one, Jesus. However, you and I are the same. Jesus said, hold on. Now you tripping.
He said, you doing too much.
You don't got on it. You and I are not the same. He said in John 8:44, you are of your father, the devil. The lust of your father ye shall do. He was a liar from the beginning, and the truth abideth not in him. So I asked the question to the pastor. If the truth is not in them, why are you trying to reform them? You can't reform devil. You can't reform Satan. So why? So if a system is satanic, you can't change it.
Okay.
Satan can't be reformed. That's why I don't like politics. Politics are of Satan. They came from his world. They ain't got nothing to do with God. God gave you the ability to create the political world, but Satan runs your politics. So why can you think, I'm going to vote her in because I know she ain't going to sell out. She's a good person and she can go in and change a system that was set up by Satan a long time ago. You can't do it. Either they'll make you submit to their system or you will leave it alone because you realize that their system ain't going to change. So here's what we should be doing. Abolishing Satan's world. Getting rid of it. I don't want to change Democrats and Republicans. I want to abolish them. They both the same. Guess what it is? Satan got two wings in order to fly.
Right.
A left wing and a right wing.
Right.
You remember, you see them satanic symbols?
Yep.
The Democrats is the left wing, the Republicans is the white wing, but they on the same bird.
Right.
See
Right.
what I'm saying? So I don't want to fix them. I want to abolish them.
But how can you fix them? Because the point I want to ask you, like with this water situation, the complicit from the top. Snyder gone, right? Gretchen Whitmer, Dana Nesselin. Is Flint water fixed?
No,
People
because
still dying?
you got rid of Satan and brought in Lucifer. And you thought it was gonna be a different one. Them just different names of the same person.
A misdemeanor and $1,000 fine?
See, the Republicans is like this. If I'm a jive with anybody, even though I don't like none of them,
Right.
believe it or not, Republicans is closer to the morals and integrity of certain issues, real key issues, for me, than Democrats.
I can go with that.
You see what I'm saying?
I can
Yeah.
go with that on that.
So-
I see what you're saying.
So Democrats is like this. In the words of Martin Luther King, I'm no longer fear that it is the right-wing Republican that is my enemy, but it is the left-wing moderate Democrat that I fear.
Joe Manchin.
So what he's telling you is, these people who come pimp the black vote every 4 years, all these Negroes ran to vote for Joe Biden.
Yep.
He pimped them.
Yep.
And then you sit up and you try to pimp us, telling us if we don't vote, we the problem. No, you the problem
Right.
for being stupid enough to vote for a devil
Right.
because you tried to get rid of Satan and you thought Satan and the devil was two different people. No, one the Father, one the Son.
Right.
You ain't got rid of, you put another wicked person who care less about the least of the people in the country in the power,
Right.
and you felt good because you was getting rid of Trump, who at least, I always tell people this, Trump was himself.
Right.
Biden ain't being Biden is phony. He fake.
You can't tell.
He's a phony.
Yeah.
Trump was real. Trump said, I'm a racist. I don't care less about any of y'all. I'm about money. I'm crazy. I do dumb stuff. Okay, I can see you. So let me do this. What I'm gonna do with you. Biden, he fake.
Yep.
He sit there and make you think he this, make you think. So you will run around and be champion him. Well, Biden he gonna come to Flint. He gonna do this. He came to Flint, pimped all them Negroes for they vote. Them Negroes got on every TV show and radio show they could, talking about get out and vote. Then tried to bully you to tell you if you didn't go vote, you the problem. The same thing they doing with the vaccine.
How do you feel about that? Now that's the point I want to, because I was out on that.
Yeah.
Before we end the show, how do you feel about the vaccine? Now wait, I mean, I'm just gonna put this out here because I listen to Weaver's show, I listen to everybody's shows.
You see, I be on there getting
and I seen it because they hate Fidel. I ain't gonna say Weaver, but some of her callers, right?
Mm-hmm.
All these people calling in, like even with Dr. Pugh. Now she breaks my heart. I'm gonna tell you why she breaks my heart. You telling these people to get vaccinated, they only bring on one side. Where's the rebuttal to why they don't report that people is dying? You got Jesse Jackson right now. Him and his wife both been vaccinated. Where they at?
Now I'm glad you asked that, and I'm glad that Fli-City Blackout provides a platform for that because a lot, like I said, a lot of these fake woke people,
Yes.
they fake liberators,
Right.
they don't let you come
They
to
don't
speak
come talk
on
about it.
the most controversial stuff.
No, they don't.
Now let me tell you this, I ain't gonna be like them and tell people, don't take the vaccine, don't do it. Your choice is your choice.
Right.
This is what I'm gonna tell you. God gave every human being an immune system.
Correct.
Your immune system, if God gave it to you, He gonna also provide you the means by which to boost your immune system. If you eat the proper food, you get vitamin D, sea moss, black seed oil, zinc, colloidal silver, all these different things that boost the immune system to help you fight not just viruses, but other things that's out here that can get you sick. If you caught it, it's a good chance it's gonna feel like a cold and you're gonna be all right. The reason they don't say it is because, and the issue, if you be watching Weaver every morning, I get on them about that in my comments, is because you can't preach to me black liberation and getting away from your enemy, but then you turn around and adopt one of their narratives and preach to me I need to do something that you know came from them, is part of them.
Yeah.
Fauci don't care about black people.
I feel that.
CDC don't care about black
feel
people.
that.
AstraZeneca don't care about black people. Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, Moderna, none of them care. They don't even care if we live or die. That's the lie. Black people who promote that mess telling us to make us feel like we should go get a vaccine. But let me tell you something. I know personally, like they always, I know personal people got sick and they died. I do too. But guess what? I know people who got sick in their 60s. Never went to the hospital, had COVID, tested positive for COVID, and the worst thing they had was a runny nose, and one guy said he lost taste, and after 2 weeks he was good. He out here riding motorcycle all around like ain't nothing happened. Never took the vaccine, but guess what he did do? He was taking this this stuff called interferon through a drug called, through this liquid called Paxamune.
Oh yeah. I heard.
Paxamune.
Somebody told me.
So now listen, the doctors from Cuba was giving patients in New York interferon and Paxamune, and they were getting healed. And Trump got a call from Pfizer. Hey, them Cubans messing with the money. Whatever they using and doing, Cuomo called them in. They people getting better, and that's not the narrative we need. We need people to get sicker so they can get this vaccine. Trump kicked them out of the New York and revoked their pass to come back into the country. Now go look it up. Everybody always said we were fact check. Go fact check. Cuomo was under emergency. He didn't know what to do. He heard about the Cuban doctors and he called them into New York. He had tents set up, makeshift hospital. Cubans going through there, people getting good. Trump kicked them out. Soon as he kicked them out, the numbers went back up. Now here come Pfizer. Hey, look, we got ours. Tweet. We ready to serve it. Ask yourself this question. My mom always told me common sense will beat book knowledge any day. This common sense for black folks. I'm talking to black folks and brown folks. I don't care nothing about white folks in this instance because people try to use that saying they wouldn't give us a drug that's gonna kill white folks and do something harm to them and do harm to us.
That's a lie.
That's because y'all don't know how sick they is.
Yep, that's
Right.
a
But
lie.
anyway,
That's a lie.
black and brown folks, when have you ever known the government
To give a
to
lot
want
of,
to give us something for free to help us with our life?
not even give it for free, but even give a lottery for it. Say
Give us money.
$50,000 a day, you can win $1 million. We gonna give if your child 12 to 16 take it, we gonna give them a scholarship. The hell?
Now, how do you feel about this? This was disrespectful. So, in New York, at one time, they was giving us chicken. If you take the shot, you get Chick-fil-A or Popeye's chicken and all that. And then they was talking about you go to McDonald's and get a coffee and a croissant and all that. Now, first of all, that's disrespectful. But for me, it was a learning moment because I was able to show my twins how they think about black people. They think we for sale.
Absolutely.
You can buy us with a Popeye chicken sandwich.
And they can, and they did.
You see what I'm saying?
Just think about the strippers during election time.
They
Oh,
do.
yeah.
Remember they had the strippers down in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna tell you what hurt me. Dr. Pugh don't hurt my soul because she in the medical field and she got to stick with her colleague unless she a Marcus Garvey type liberator.
Right.
Everybody ain't like Marcus Garvey. Everybody ain't like Elijah Muhammad, Noble Drew Ali, Nat Turner,
Right.
Denmark Vesey, Gabriel Passer,
Right.
Toussaint L. Overture. You see, I ain't mentioning the normal names because
Yeah.
people
Right.
always jump on these shows.
They do.
Martin Luther King, Malcolm
Malcolm
X.
X.
When Malcolm X was made by somebody,
Yep.
and you don't mention the person that made Malcolm X, who he was, you always talk about him. You always mention Martin Luther King, but at one point, the government didn't like neither one of them. And the only reason you talking about them now is because the government say it's all right.
Right.
That's why you don't mention them other people, because you get on TV talking about Marcus Garvey and Nat Turner, they go, hey, look, stop. Don't we give funding for that show you do? You up for review in 2 months, so, we thinking careful about if we should renew you. So in 2 months, come and see us. That's really saying, look, dude, you on there talking about Nat Turner, Marcus Garvey, and these young folks get to see that and they get to
Shut the hell
learn
up.
who they're about. If you don't be quiet, we gonna shut you down. That's what they saying.
No, that's true because
Yeah.
that is. But that's
Hail Selassie. The reason they don't want you to know, how you gonna talk about the branch on the tree,
Right.
but you don't talk about the tree that's firmly planted that created the branch. Malcolm X came from Elijah Muhammad, bottom line. wouldn't be no Malcolm X if it wasn't for Elijah Muhammad.
Understood.
Martin Luther King was influenced by Vernon Johns.
Right.
Wouldn't have been a Martin Luther King if it wouldn't have Vernon Johns
That's right.
before him.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
But you know why, don't you?
Yeah, because them people was people who stood up against the system
Right.
and bucked the government
Absolutely.
and didn't care about favor. But here's the elephant in the room. You had a lot of the politicians and black people that be speaking up for us.
Right.
Deep down, they just boule.
All day long.
They boule.
All day.
They boule.
All day.
Here it is. W.E.B. Du Bois put together a team of people for white folks
Ralph J. Bunch.
Yeah.
in order to fight against Marcus Garvey
Yep.
and Booker T. Washington.
Say we got to get them to shut them niggas down.
Now, we got the same thing today. The only thing is they go by the name council person, mayor,
Senator.
doctor,
Yeah.
former mayor. All these different people, they belong to stuff that when the crossroads come
Right.
and they got to make a choice between really standing with black folks or losing their livelihood, they go on with the boule.
And what all do they have in common, though? All of them that you name. Christians.
Christians, and they belong to fraternities and sororities.
So, and then the burning bush don't know that's not even them.
Now here's the killing part for me. Why the hell you gonna join the Greeks
Right.
when the Greeks got what they got? They stole it from us.
Right.
But you gonna join on to them instead of joining on
And
to
I meant,
yourself.
I meant to say you walk across the
That's
burning
right.
sand.
Yeah, the burning
burning
sand.
sand.
When
Yeah.
did we walk across the burning
No,
sand?
we ran the Caucasians through the burning sands up into the hills and cave sides of Europe, and we bound them up in Europe, and we put a flaming sword at the east gate.
Right.
That's why you see the sword on the Mason's hat.
Right.
So here it is. You want to become a part of something that you really you the father of. You want to be a child of something that you the father of. You know how disrespectful that is to call yourself a Greek when the Greeks came from us. You defiling yourself. You lowering yourself beneath the level of an original person. Greeks are not original. They ain't even been on the planet 6,600 years.
But then how you feel about this question then? About our brothers running around here calling themselves Sunnis and Sunni Islam.
Sunni
All right, well, Sunni and Shiite is this. That's just a form of a practice of Islam.
Right.
Sunnis follow Abu Bakr, who was the companion of Prophet Muhammad,
Right.
peace be upon him. The Shiites follow Ali, which was Prophet Muhammad's cousin. So the beef came in on this. Look at that. That's why religion is division everywhere. Abu Bakr was his companion, but Ali accepted Islam first under Prophet Muhammad.
Oh.
So the Shiites feel because Ali accepted Islam first, then he should have been the first Khalifa after Prophet Muhammad.
Right.
And so some people follow Abu Bakr, some people follow Ali. But guess what? The Quran don't teach you to follow either one of them.
Right.
That's man-made BS. When you see a black man following the Sunni or the Shiite, he ain't being himself either. You just went from following a white Jesus to following an Arab lifestyle, and neither one of them got anything to do with us.
Not because that's the point I was asking that because I'm looking at the Arab stores, right? Pork, liquor,
Right.
everything that's forbidden in Islam. But y'all feeding it to the people.
But they won't feed it to their own now.
No.
They'll give us all that. Now, but black folks is like this. We so messed up from PTSD.
Right.
We would join and become a part of anything but ourselves. You would never see a Chinese try to become a member of a black organization just so they can feel like they black. But you will see a black person join a Chinese movement just so they can say to the Chinese, I'm with you. Just like our movement been hijacked.
Yeah.
Black people's agenda been hijacked.
Yeah.
We the last in everything.
Yeah.
And the native, our red brothers and sisters. Because you can't leave them out.
Right.
You killed 23 million of them with a gift. You brought a blanket talking about, I want to give you a gift.
Mm-hmm.
And you had smallpox in it. And you wiped out 23 million people. But you want to tell me to trust the government, the CDC, AstraZeneca, Moderna, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson. And then here's the kicker. You got black folks. Well, I'm reading the data and the science. Do you think we fools today as foolish as we was yesterday? Data can be manipulated.
Right.
Absolutely, it can.
Because you know
Data and science can be manipulated to fit the data. I can tell somebody, I'm gonna put you under hypnosis. I'm gonna put you under brain control for 10 seconds. And I can manipulate how I do it. So I'll give you an example. Now I told you what I'm finna do, right?
Right.
Let me tell you how strong this is. Spell the word spot.
Spider.
Spot.
Spot. SPOT.
What do you do when you come to a green light?
Stop.
Did you just see me put him under control? If you stop at a green light, what'll happen? You get a ticket for impeding traffic.
Right.
You go at green.
Yep.
So this what I did. Now that was a little small tape. And I told you I was gonna do it and you still did it, right? This is proof of how powerful mind control is. What I did was, I had him spell a word that had the same letters in it as the word that I was gonna use a scenario.
Right.
And it was gonna automatically make his brain focus on stop.
Uh-huh.
Even though I said, what do you do when you come to a green light?
Right.
He said, stop. You don't never stop at green, you go. But you couldn't, it was the only way you could have avoided that mind control because I only had you for 10 seconds.
Right.
The only way you could avoid it
Absolutely.
is if you vibrate on a higher level of concentration and thinking.
Absolutely.
So here it is, you want me to believe, because the CDC put out a paper and say the science, you got liars in the CDC, you got liars that's scientists. I just told you what John 8:44 said. You are of your father the devil. The lust of your father ye shall do. He was a murderer from the beginning and a liar. And the truth abideth not in him. Every form of American government from any place you can think of is wicked and it's evil. And it might be one good person in the CDC out of the whole thing, and that one person ain't got no juice to tell the rest of them to stop fudging stuff and lying.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So don't pitch that, the science and the data BS to me, and then look how they play on our intelligence. When the science and the data go wrong, they say, well, everything changes. We knew in the beginning that this may not cure COVID.
Right.
Listen, when I was born, and I got the vaccine for the chicken pox, vaccine for the rubella and all that.
Polio and all that.
They told me that the vaccine means I would not catch this stuff, ever.
Still got it.
No, I never caught it. But because a vaccine, this is what a vaccine is supposed to be a cure-all to something. That means if I vaccinate you for Delta variant of COVID-19, right? You should never be able to catch the Delta variant again. You may catch something else, but you shouldn't be able to catch that.
Absolutely.
First of all, stop lying using the word vaccine. It's a shot,
Right.
like the flu shot. That's why you need a booster shot to go with it. And now you got trouble with that because you don't know if the booster shot gonna cause some problem. Stop lying. Why don't you, all you medical doctors who took this oath to do no harm and to help people, why don't you promote what God gave, which is how to treat the immune system
And boost your immune system.
and boost it. And then the mask thing. This is so funny to me. I'm I'm a licensed building contractor. I had to take these OSHA classes where they taught us this PPE. You had to wear N95 masks.
Right.
You had to wear different apparatuses for different.
I worked in the chemical plant. I
Right.
had to take the same class.
Right. So you know, if you working with the chemicals,
Yeah.
you got to wear the one with the
cans
with
on
the
the side.
click in
Yeah.
filters,
Yeah.
charcoal filters in them. If you doing paint, you can wear the N95. If you cutting wood, you can wear them little cheap. You
Yeah.
just don't want the wood chip. But guess what they tell you in the class? Do not wear this mask for an extended period of time. It could be hazardous or harmful to your health.
Yep.
Why? Because you breathe in
Your
carbon
own
monoxide
CO2.
and you don't have the carbon dioxide coming out.
Right.
It stay in your body
Yep.
because you blocking it with the mask.
Right.
So you teaching this foolishness. Yeah, wear a mask. Look when you should wear it. When you're around large crowds for a short period of time, you're going in the store, or you're around people, put it on. But 10, 5, 6, 7 hours straight, that's foolishness. That's counterproductive to your health. But they tell people stuff in a way that they think we all dumb and stupid. And then the people like us who speak up and let them know we ain't stupid, we can read. They always kill me with, I want to bring an expert from the medical field in virology to speak up. Okay, all they did was read a book and stand in front of somebody who showed them how to do something. I can read too. I had a Gray's Anatomy book. I know how many bones in the human body, 206 bones. Your skeletal.
Well, I had the medical monopoly book.
Yeah, your skeletal was 206. I can read. So don't tell me she need to be a virologist in order to tell me about some dealing. If she can open up a book the same way that virologist did,
Right.
and read it and can comprehend, she can tell me something about what's going on.
I'm glad you brought that up about the mask, because that's a thing, you know, and I keep saying that all the time.
Yeah.
That the masks are not healthy, you know, and they say, you know, the first sign is, you know, you get a sore throat. Well, if you breathing in your own CO2 for that amount of time, you are going to get a sore throat. You're going to lose your voice.
Hey,
You're
look,
going to
Chris-
do all of these things.
Chris Caleb said they have killed the good people in CDC for years when they try and notify the public about their lives.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And everybody, you know, a lot of people coming up there that are going against all of this.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up, because this need to be on the air live. Every country, black country, that said they wouldn't allow
The
the vaccine or the testing in their country, they don't kill their leader.
Yep,
Go look at 5 of them
they sure
dead.
have.
They don't kill 5 leaders
They sure have.
in black countries. 5 of them dead. It ain't on TV. It ain't on the world news.
Why would they do that?
It ain't. They kill, and then after they killed them, all of a sudden the vaccine is in all 5 countries.
Yeah.
But it ain't no conspiracy going on. Ain't nothing. We just crazy. But here's my thing. Why you care so much about my life that you want to tell me take the vaccine, and then you try to make me, shame me, and say, well, if you don't care about your life, care enough about the next person's life, that you don't carry it and give it to them, so you should take the vaccine. But then you ain't doing all you can do to stop and care about the life of the guy with the gun. You don't care about the woman with diabetes that's still eating all this pork. You don't care about the man with lung disease, but he's smoking cigarettes. But you want to care about me having the possibility of carrying COVID asymptomatic and giving it to somebody else and killing them. Boy, there's some hypocrites in America.
Listen, I think we going about this all ass backwards, and like you said, it's not a vaccine, it's a shot.
Shot.
And the thing about that is, it's just like the flu shot, you know. Y'all not pumping me or making me take the flu shot, and if I get the flu, I could give it to somebody. I could give the cold to somebody.
Sure.
It's no cure for the common cold either. But that's neither here nor there. I just think that people need to think and think for themselves. Don't let anybody else think for you.
Now, this is what I want you to prepare for, sister and brother. Because we have instructions from the Honorable Minister Lewis Farrakhan to prepare us for things that's coming. This is what's gonna happen. Those of us who refuse to take the vaccine, number one, by refusing it, they're gonna start a punishment phase. If you work, your job gonna mandate it. If you don't take it, they're gonna fire you. If you get any government assistance, they're gonna cut it. If your children in regular school, they're gonna tell them they can't come. Now, that's phase one. Phase two, if you like me, got your own job, doing for self, all that they doing don't mean nothing. Phase two is this. Can't go to the restaurant, can't take trips, can't get on the airplane, can't get on the boat,
They've already started that.
can't go to the parks, or can't go to Michigan Adventure, Cedar Point. Then,
They've already started that. You know, you can't take a cruise without being
right now, then at the end, after they scare everybody and get all them, the people that's left at the end, guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna come door to door, and they're gonna institute some type of martial law, where you're gonna suffer some kind of loss because you wasn't willing to take the vaccine. So, brother, don't take the vaccine, brother.
Any closing shots?
I don't do that.
Come on.
Man, we don't do vaccines over here, right? We got elderberry.
Look, we got zinc,
We got zinc,
sea moss,
sea moss,
Black sea oil,
elderberry,
elderberry.
colonial
Vitamin C.
silver,
Fish oil.
and the number one thing, vitamin D.
Yeah.
The Honorable Minister Lewis Farrakhan said vitamin D is the number one deterrent to COVID-19. He said go outside.
Yeah.
He said go outside at least 30 minutes a day and bathe in the sun.
Come on now.
And it's gonna protect you.
Come on now,
And
listen.
we're gonna end it on that note.
We gonna end it on that? Okay.
Yeah.
listen
That's the
now.
thing.
Eat your vitamins. Go ahead and be great.